Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Friday, May 14th, 2021. We are in the final day of a crazy trading week, and we are in the final hour of the current trading day. As you know, the final hour of the day is very important to me. That is the time where I like to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions based upon how the large financial institutions move the price at the end of the day. During the day, you have the day traders and the algorithms. They are the ones that are in control. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, take control away, move the price. They have very smart people. They have best information, best technology, and they're dealing with the most money. So I think they are the smart money, the smartest money on the street, and therefore I like to make buying and selling decisions based upon where they move the price right near the close of the market. So, excuse me, thank you all for coming today. It's nice to have everyone here. I always look forward to this time of the day. And appreciate you checking in and coming to the live stream from all over the world. It's great to have you, and I hope that by spending time here, you are learning something and improving your trading and your investing. So, all right, currently the Dow is up 387 points, up 1.14%. The NASDAQ up 318 points. Wow, up 2.42%. And the S&P up 65.54, up 1.59%. So a big, huge day. Last 2 days have been two big monsters after the huge sell-off at the beginning of the week. So here's the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we are going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have a couple day trades today that I will share with you as well. After that, we're going to go over to the board where my students have some of their positions. We're going to take a look at those and see how those are doing. After that, we're going to talk about trader psychology, most important skill in trading. You do have to learn how to trade. You do have to learn technical analysis. You do have to look for entries, exits, supports, trailing stops, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, the most important skill that you will ever learn is the skill of managing your emotions and following your plan. So I like to touch on that every day because it is the most important skill. After that, I have gone down through my watch list today. I have gone down through the results of Kamal Scanner. I do have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. As you know, they are: 1, I need a confluence or a combination of indicators, ideally lining up on multiple time frames. Number 2, even if I have a great confluence or combination of indicators lining up, I still need to look at the math of the risk to reward. And if I'm risking $1,000 on the trade, I need to be able to make $2,000 or more to the upside to make it worth it from a risk to reward standpoint. So I think we could all look a little bit harder and spend a little bit more time looking at risk to reward ratios, because really it's the math that's going to make you a long-term profitable trader in the long run. And then number 3, you have to have a complete trading plan, not just where you're going to get in, right? You have to think about how many shares am I going to buy based upon the current volatility? Where is my end of day stop going to be? Where is my emergency stop going to be? Where are my intraday profit targets going to be? Where are my overhead resistance levels going to be? And very important, do you have a trailing stop protocol or trading stop rules in place so that you don't give all your profits back if you have a profitable trade? So those are my 3 rules. I'm going to go through the watch list. I have candidates, quite a few of them today, and at the end of the day, I'm just going to try to narrow them down, look for the very, very best one, and if I find something, I will buy it right before the close of the market. After the market closes, if you have any questions, let me know. If you need any clarification on anything, please let me know. If you'd like me to look at any stock symbols today before the market closes, put them in the live stream. I'll do my very best to get to them. And make sure you put an emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive. And then lastly, if any of my new students have any new entries or exits for me today, if you could please wait till the close of the market before you let me know about them. That way the pressure's off, market's closed, I'm done teaching, I'm done trading, and we can all take a deep breath and we can get them all updated. Okay, so I am going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I will be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right. All right. Here we go. Well, let's see who is here today. We have Lova is here. Nice to see you, Lova. Hope you're having a good day. George is here. Hello, Greg. Good Friday. Nice Friday to you, George. Good to see you. Dan says, hi, Greg and everyone. I'm looking forward to the stream to learn about what's going on. I got a kayak and have focused on it today. Oh, well, that sounds funner than trading for sure. Awesome. Good for you, Dan. Steve Burns is here. Hey, Steve. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate everything that you do for this channel. I know everyone else does as well. It's always an honor to have you here. And also, thank you so much for including me today on your Friday list on Twitter. That's always kind of you. George says, HSI, V2 in the value zone, bullish engulfing, RSI 44. Yesterday was 37. Not sure about that. If that could be an issue. Weeklies in the value, rejected the 200-day. What do you think about it? All right, let's take a look. HSI. I'm trying to put in HSI, George. I don't get it. Could you double check, please, on the symbol? I put it in and nothing comes up. So maybe if you could double check again. And if that's incorrect, if you could let me know, then we'll take a look. Tony is here. Good to see you, Tony. Appreciate you coming back. Thanks for being a regular. Hope you're doing well. Steve says, stocks that bounce off their 30 RSI today. Disney, DKNG, MARA, Monster. Well, let's take a look. Disney bounced just under the 30 still. Just under the 30 RSI still down 2.51%. DKNG under 30, back over 30. You are correct. Wow, big day on DraftKings, up 8.86%. Mara under 30, over 30, still over the 200. Back over the negative third ATR channel, up 16% today. Wow. And Monster. Yes, Monster looks pretty good there. Rejection of the negative third ATR channel. I like that one the best, actually. I'm going to put that over here. Oh, that's not Monster. I always get those confused. Is that Monster? MSTR. MSTR is MicroStrategies. That's the Bitcoin one. All right. Biomed Repairs. How you doing, Biomed? Good afternoon. Thank you for doing these lives. You are welcome. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you being here. IBB. All right. I have that one on my list today. Yes, under 200, over 200. That looks good. A little chasey for me, but that looks good. Frank says, hello, Greg and group on a beautiful day on the coast. Good to see you, Frank. Steve says Facebook has a 520 cross. Yes, it does. I'm going to take that's on my list. Intel. Yes, under 200, over 200, under the 30, over the 30. I'm sorry, It bounced to the 200 yesterday. It's back over the 250 today. That one looks good. Weekly has rejected the 50 SMA. Yep, I have that on my list. Good analysis there. CT, LT. Yes, that looks good. Under 200, over 200. A little chasey in my opinion. That's my only remark on that. Not a great risk to reward ratio. Jonathan is here. Nice to see you, Jonathan. Hope you're having a nice evening. Tracy, good to see you. Please say hello to Paxton. Steve has Nike. Okay. Let's look at Nike. We'll put that on the board. 1050 EMA cross. I don't see that, Steve. I have 134.56 to 134.62. So I do not have the cross yet. Oh, Steve said almost. Gotcha. Kamal, good to see you, bud. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel, my friend. Johnson says, hi, Greg. Happy Friday. Good to see you. David says, hi, Gregorian Traders. George says, it is an index. Let me check. Yep. Check. Pins, NIO, 30 RSI bounces. Yep. Let me put NI over here. Yep, under 30, over 30. HSI, yeah. I'm trying to do HSI. That doesn't come up for me. I'm sorry, George, the Hang Sang. But I don't have those available on my chart. Yavar is here. Nice to see you, Yavar. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's get started. We have a ton to get to. I will try to take a look at everyone's comments, but on busy days like this, I'm going to do my best, but sometimes I won't be able to, just so you know, okay? Because we have a lot to get through, a lot to look at. All right, here is Apple. Starting off with Apple, I did buy Apple on this deep dip buy with the intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average. I bought it at 122.60. It's 127.31. It's up 1.87% today. Did hit two profit targets at 126.40, 127.55. This has been a really nice trade. This trade is up 3.64% in the last 2 days, so not too shabby. AGQ, this is a weekly trade that Gary and I took. Weekly bars back into the value zone, sideways motion, false breakout to the downside, V2 under 50 RSI, over 50 RSI. I bought this at 43.96 on the weekly. Next couple weeks it moved up. Then I had a above 50, below 50. I had to lock in half profits here, but ever since then it's moved up nicely. It is up to my trailing stop level. It's down about 0.5% on the week, but so far from entry to current price, this trade is up 14.28%. Today is Friday. It's the end of the week. Doesn't look like I'm going to have to make any adjustments to this trade. I'll just keep with it. PKI. David and I bought PKI last week on Friday, so 7 days ago. Higher low, bullish engulfing bar, V1, 520 crossover, bought it at 141.02. It's currently 143.99. It is up 2.14% this week. No profit targets yet, but still up nicely on the week. SPY. Well, last couple days have been nice overnight SPY trades, but full disclosure, big downs at the beginning of the week. But nonetheless, let's look at the last trade. I bought this yesterday at the close at 410.28. It's currently, I sold it at the open at 413.23. So almost 3-point overnight gapper. I will buy this again today, hold it overnight, sell it first thing Monday morning. And UNG, lastly, is a monthly trade. David, Paxton, and myself did buy UNG last month and the last day of the month at 10.52. It's currently 10.64. So far, it is up 1.24% on the day. on the month, excuse me. I did have a nice intraday trade here today on SVC Financial. And let me explain what caught my attention here. Earlier in the day, 2 days ago, we had the big down bar. When I looked at the trade, we were stuck right at the halfway. So we went down, we got stuck right at the halfway. I saw the rejection of the 200-day moving average on the 25-minute chart. I shorted it at 572.47. I covered half here at 568.90, covered another half right at the low at 566.15, and then I had a rejection of the 50 and closed back over. So anyway, I shorted at 572.47, covered at 569.70, covered at 568.90, and covered at 566.15. So this was a nice intraday trade. Then on the 5-minute on the Qs, did take a little bit of a loss. What got interested me in this trade was that we were going up, 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 no green whatsoever. We had a false breakout to the upside, reversal back down. I didn't short it there. I waited till we got back to halfway at 325.73. Did initially go into the money, came back up, came back down, back into the money, but then this bar here closed above halfway of the washout bar to the downside, so I exited for a loss, but not a big one, 325.73, and I exited it at 325.87. But I took a shot at it, but the key is I got out, right? That's the takeaway here. All right. Let's take a look at your trades. Uber. I do have Gary in at Uber at 48.20. It's currently 47.25. It is up 6.23% today. Looks like it's could close back over the 200-day moving average, but from the price I have here, it is still slightly down on the trade. So hugely up on the day, but slightly down on the trade, if that's correct. ENPH, Tracy and Paxton did buy in ENPH at about 121.60. False breakout to the downside, bullish engulfing bar V1 back over the 250. Went down today, back up, closing back over the 250, up a whopping 4.48% today. So this one looks like it's a little down on the trade, but nicely up on the day. IONS. Paxton and Tracy did buy at 37.34. It's currently 38.16. It's up 2.11% today. Proud of you, Tracy and Paxton, up 2.12%. PCAR, David bought PCAR with false breakout to the downside. V2 bought it at 94.51. It's currently 94.72. It is up on the day and up on the trade. And lastly, this is Frank's trade. Big trade here. Frank bought ELY 27.75, and this has been a monster trade. He sold half here, kept the other half, up another 2.92% today. Up 17.15% on the trade. So congratulations, Frank. Let's give Frank a hand. That is a beautiful, wonderful trade. Okay. Yeah, sorry, George. I looked, but with my trading platform, I can't. I think it's those international ones I can't get. Kamal says Twitter under over 30, 200 SMA. Let's put that on the watch list. Boy, do we have a lot to get through. All right. Jonathan says 530 EMA cross. I'm not sure if that's a legitimate cross on Visa right off the top of my hand, right off the top of my head. 530. If it's on that list, then it is. You got out of ENPH yesterday. Okay, bummer. I mean, you were supposed to, so that's good. $520 cross on REGN on the weekly. Yep. I don't know if somebody can backtest that. If they have time to backtest the 520 on REGN, I don't know if that's a good backtest. Let's see. Here we go. So let's look at the indexes real quick. Let's start off with the SPY. Big bounce. I mean, boy, did it bounce almost to the penny at the 50 EMA. So we've had two big days here. A complete V. Will it just head right back up? I don't know. I wish it would. My gut says no, but I'm wrong often. I am wrong often. It could. One thing I want to point out here, look at the volume today. The volume today, not very heavy. The down bars, we had increasing volume. Yesterday, we had an up bar on lower volume. We're up again today on even lower volume than that, even though it's not the end of the day. Those are a little bit of red flags to me. The Qs, same, just a V. We're back over the 50 RSI. We have not tested the 50 we're back over the 50 SMA. We have not tested the 50 RSI, but it is a good sign that we're back over the 50 and we are holding the 50. Let's look at the Dow. Right back up. Right back up. It's above the 1 ATR channel. That's good. Should be interesting. I'm a little concerned about the major rally we've had in the last couple days. It seems chasey to me. That's just my opinion, though. That's just my opinion. Let's see how things are going over here. Okay, I don't think... No, don't see. All right. Listen, everybody, before we kind of turn our attention to possible setups today, looking for the best end of day trade or possibly end of week trade as well, I do want to talk about trader psychology. Steve Burns, this is from the New Traders, Rich Traders. Steve's my favorite poster. I read every post that he has, at least that I can see. And, when Steve posts something, you really should pay attention to it, look at it, read it, internalize it. And here's a post from Steve from the New Traders, Rich Traders over on Facebook if you'd like to come over and apply on that channel. There's some great traders there. It's a serious trading thread. So let's see what Steve has. And by the way, Steve is at @SJosephBurns on Twitter in case you have not subscribed to him, and you really should, right? So let's see what Steve has to say. Some trading edges. What are edges? Well, they're things that help put the odds in your favor for a trade. Number one, emotional control. Okay, that's why I do this psychology segment, obviously, right? This is why. Everything in trading is about emotions. You cannot get away from it. Emotions are the number one, they're your number one enemy in trading. Fear, greed, how much have I lost? How much have I made? They're the number one culprit when it comes to trying to get you off of your trading plan. So emotional control, extremely important. You know what's the best way, in my opinion, or what is the best way in my opinion to control those emotions? Your position size, right? I say it all the time. It's the number one thing. If you don't have too large of a position, then the profit and losses are not going to be too large, and therefore your emotions will not be revved up. Ego control. Okay, ego, right? Ego is a huge thing in trading and in life and everything else. And, it's always something that you have to contend with. But in trading, ego is especially dangerous. It's really dangerous because if you get in your mind about what you think the market's going to do and you have a high conviction about that, well, it doesn't mean that the market is going to do what you think, right? And if it's not doing what you think and you don't get out because your ego is in control of it, it can really lead to a disaster. I mean, having strong feelings and having a strong market opinion in the market is great if it's going your way. That's good. But if it's not going your way, holding on, fighting against the market can really destroy your account and your psychological capital as well. Cutting losses short. Well, we all know that we have to cut our losses short, right? That's the key to profitable trading. Letting your winners run, cutting your losses short. Remember the garden analogy, right? You have a garden, your flowers, your vegetables that are growing, those are your winning trades. Your losing trades are the weeds. If you let too many weeds take over your garden, then it starts killing the vegetables and the flowers, and before you know it, your whole garden is in trouble. And that's the analogy with trading. So keep your losses short. Letting winners run. Yeah, that's what I just said, right? You have to let your winners run. You have to let your vegetables and your flowers grow to their full potential, right? So we always talk about cutting losses short, but you also have to have the power to let winners run as well. Back testing. Moving average crossovers back over 200 or 250 day moving average. That's why you always hear me say, hey, can somebody back test that? I want to know that there's some quantifiable numbers before just, risking a lot of money on one particular trade. It doesn't mean it's going to work on that particular trade, but if I'm going to allocate money towards something, I want to allocate it towards something that has good back tested results. Chart studies. Well, studying your charts, looking for confluences, combination of indicators, good risk to reward. That's what we're going to do today. Position sizing for survival. I love the for survival part. Most important practical thing you can do in your trading, in my opinion, is not when you get in. It is how many shares of something you buy. You can be the best trader in the world. You can have the best setup in the world, but it doesn't mean it's going to work. It could, 99 times out of 100, maybe it works. But what about the one time that it doesn't? So position sizing too large is the most dangerous thing you can possibly do. Stay in the game, right? Position size based upon current volatility so that you buy the appropriate amount of shares based upon the volatility of the market. But I love how Steve says position size for survival. Even if you're a horrible trader and you have loss after loss after loss, if you position size correctly, you will survive. You'll get more experience, you'll get more reps under your belt, and you will start to increase your winning percentage. Following price action. Well, that's what we do as traders. That's what I do. I don't have opinions on the market. I really don't know. I really don't care. I just follow what the price is doing. That is my guide. That is juxtaposed to like fundamental analysis where they're looking at the fundamentals of things. Well, I think all the fundamentals show up in the charts anyway, and that's why I practice technical analysis. Going with the path of least resistance. Well, there you go. Look at the structure of the trade. Are you in a bullish trade? Then probably the path of least resistance is going to be back up if you buy the dip. If you're shorting, do you want to short against strength? I mean, there's certain times, but going with the path of least resistance is always good. Don't fight the uptrends. Don't fight the downtrends. System development. This is what's great about trading. You can be as creative as you want in your approaches. Like you can be seriously artistically creative with trading. You can do covered calls. You can sell cash secured puts. You can do credit spreads in addition to having directional trades. But there's a million different ways to trade, and you have to find the one that fits your personality. This will put you in the top percent of traders. Well, do you ever hear that about 90% of traders lose money? Guess where that money's going? To the top 10%. That's true, folks. That's really true. So if you're part of the 90% that loses money, you have to do the opposite of what they're doing. And like Steve says here, this will put you in the top 10% of traders. But look, this is a lot. This isn't just, hey, buy and, ooh, I'm in the money, I'm going to sell, right? I had somebody call me the other day and say, well, I had a trade, I just was in the money. I mean, you can't go wrong selling it, right, with a profit. I'm like, oh, brother. Yeah, you can, actually. So emotional control. Ego control, cutting losses short, letting winners run, back testing, chart studies, position sizing for survival, following price action, going with the path of least resistance, and system development. You thought it was going to be easy. You thought you were just going to open up an account and a week later you're going to have a couple Lamborghinis and making 10%, 12% a day. I had somebody the other day tell me, well, I have a friend that makes like 30% a day, but I would be happy just to make 10% a day. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get greedy about it. 10% a day would just be fine. Can you imagine what I thought after I got done rolling my eyes? Thank you, Steve Burns. Appreciate that. That was helpful for me. I hope this is helpful for everyone else. Ava is here. Nice to see you, Ava. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Hope you're having a nice week, and I hope you have a nice upcoming weekend as well. All right. I'm going to quickly check, see what's going on here. Again, Apple, my Apple positions doing great with the deep dip buy, rejection of the 200-day moving average, 2 profit targets today. Looks like it's closing above the 50 EMA. That's the 50 SMA. That's good. So nothing I have to do here. Everything is keying off of the 200-day. Although it looks like we have moved 1.5 ATRs from entry, so I will be in trailing stop mode. Qs. The Q trade's doing really, really great, up 14%. Weekly trade, don't have to do anything there. PKI is also a weekly trade, up 2.11% this week. No profit targets yet. Doesn't look like I'm going to have to do anything there. Of course, SPY, I will be buying SPY at the close as per usual, holding it over the weekend, selling it Monday morning, but nice overnight gap there. And then UNG on the monthly trade, up 1.33% from entry. So good enough. Good enough. All right. Oh, Frank does have a poem. Something seemed off. I hadn't read the poem yet, and I was out of my groove, Frank. All right. Let's take a look. Let me Let me paste this over here. And let's see what Frank has for us. You know it's going to be good because it's from Frank. The master can teach, but it's you that must reach while honoring the rules we should not breach. Ooh, I like that. Let me try that again. The master can teach, but it's you that must reach when honoring the rules we should not breach. The market can challenge, the experts can preach as we dream of that hammock swinging on the beach. With Lamborghinis next to it, Frank, is that true? So good. One more time. The master can teach, but it's you that must reach while honoring the rules we should not breach. The market can challenge, the experts can preach as we dream of that hammock swinging on a beach. Can we please give a hand to Frank? That is beautiful and just amazing and a lovely poem, Frank. You, speaking of the master, you are the master, my friend. Wow. Wow. I mean, how good is that? Dance is beautiful. I totally agree. Ooh, what's happening in Apple here? Return to value, sideways motion, ooh, and collapse. So maybe we're getting a little sell-off here near the end of the day. Yes, we certainly are. We are back in the value zone here for sure. Okay. Take care of a little biz over here. All right, well, we've got a lot to get through here. So I have a lot down. Let's take a look and see. Should we take a look at Bitcoin first? Gary says, we don't call him the Mastro for nothing, Greg. Oh, I know. I know. Bitcoin, double bottom, bullish divergence, has held that 100-day moving average. If I was a Bitcoiner and I was trading this chart, would I buy this today? Probably not. But if I did, I would probably use a close below that 100-day as a pretty decent risk to reward ratio. Adobe. All right. Well, here we go. We have a close under the 200, close back over the 200. We're at a 47 RSI. We're getting close to the third ATR, we're getting close to the 50 RSI. We are above the 10-day moving average, which is good. Do I want to buy this deep dip buy of close under 200, back over 200? Probably not. I kind of don't like the risk to reward ratio. I don't like how close we are to the 50 RSI, so I'm going to pass on that one. Although from a strictly mechanical standpoint, this does backtest well, but I just feel like it's a little chasey here at this point. Let's take a look. About 1.67% risk, and on top of it, we're closing in on that 50 RSI. Doesn't have to hold, but I think it's more probable than not it will get stuck there. Amazon, close under 200, over 200. I like Amazon here better. I like the risk to reward on Amazon, makes the most sense to me. It's closest to the 200-day moving average. So that one is a potential. Facebook has a 520 crossover. We are right at the 1 ATR channel. 520 crossover on Facebook does backtest well. I'm just concerned about the amount of movement that it took to get that 520 crossover to happen. I mean, it already has moved up 5.84% before. Doesn't mean it can't go up, and it does. This does backtest well. I think I'm going to pass on Facebook, and I think I'm just going to look for maybe a pullback test of that 20 to give me a better risk to reward. IBB, close under 200, back over 200. A little chasey for me. It's a little chasey. It's up 2.33% today, and it did already move from, oops. Let's take a look here. From the bottom to the top here, it's moved 4.56%. So it seems a little chasey to me, and so I'm going to pass on IBB. Intel was mentioned earlier. 2 tests of the 200-day moving average that held. We are now over the 250 as well. We got stopped right at the 10-day. So I'm going to pass on Intel as well. I'm going to pass on a lot of these today. Tesla. So Tesla is interesting. It's a good risk to reward ratio. It went under 30, over 30, and it is also back above the 200-day moving average and back above the negative third ATR channel. So far, my favorite two are Amazon and Tesla. FVRR has a false breakout to the downside, a V2, and a close under, close back over the 250, as well as an under 30, over 30. So I'm going to put that as a potential there. Shopify does not have a V2, but it is a close under back over the 250. ARC, under 30, over 30. V2, under the negative third, over the negative third. False breakout to the downside, and it looks like under 30, over 30. What I see here, though, is I see the 250-day moving average above acting as resistance. So I looked at this earlier, and so I'm going to pass on that. Pins, under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third. Has that 200-day moving average right above it. I think from a risk to reward ratio standpoint, I'm going to pass on pins. MicroStrategy, no, this is Monster. All right, let's go back to Steve's and see, because I always get those confused. Steve, where was that post you had? with micro strategies. Huh, I don't see it anymore. Okay, well, I'm going to take that one off then. Nike, Steve mentioned earlier the 1050 EMA crossover. That has not crossed yet. NIO, oh, maybe it was up here. MSTR. MSTR. Under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third. Okay, that one's definitely worth looking at. NIO, there's just a lot like this. So, under 30, over 30, under the 250, over the 250. Weekly looks good with the a bounce and holding of the 50. I think I'm going to let that one go. Twitter, under 30, over 30, but it has a 200-day moving average above, so I'm going to let that one pass. So I am going to narrow it down to, for me anyway, Amazon with the close under 200, back over 200. Now let's look at the weekly. Weekly, holding the 50 RSI, holding the 50-week moving average. MACD is positive. Some increased volume today over yesterday, which I like. So definitely Amazon is a possibility. Tesla, under 30, over 30, under the 200, over the 200, under the negative third, over the negative third. Good risk to reward ratio. On the weekly, not a lot of support anywhere on the weekly. Do you see how there's the 50 EMA down here and the 50-day moving average down here, but we've lost? So just that alone, just this analysis alone on the weekly makes me like Amazon better, because we held some support. We're holding the 50 RSI, and it's still a good risk to reward ratio. But Tesla, even though it looks decent on the day, on the weekly, I don't have any support. So you see how I kind of narrow them down, and I just look for reasons to get rid of them. So I'm getting rid of that one. Fiverr, under 30, over 30, under 250, over 250, under the negative third, over the negative third. That looks good. If we look at the weekly, all right, so weekly, we have the 50-week moving average as resistance above us. So that alone, just right there, is going to make me question taking this trade on the daily. And then MSTR, under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third. Looks like we went under 30, over 30, sorry. And then on the weekly, holding the 1 ATR channel. So with all that being said, and all these stocks here, Amazon and Monster are my favorite on the daily. I do have some on the weekly. Gold has a 520 crossover that does backtest well, not that well, but pretty good. Does have a 520 crossover. I'm not going to buy this right here. It's right at the 50-day, and it got rejected. And I also have silver. Intel bounced at the negative 1 ATR channel, or bounced at the 50, bounced at the 100, and is holding the negative 1 ATR channel, which is great. And if you look over on the daily, yes, we did close under, close back over, but again, on the daily, this looks extended to me, and on the weekly, it found support there, but not a real signal. Shopify is holding nicely at the 50 on the week. On the daily, under 250, over 250, it's 44 RSI. But strictly from a weekly standpoint, I'm going to pass on Shopify. And Adobe did bounce at the 50. I don't like the risk to reward anymore. So yes, it did bounce at the 50 on the daily. It does have, it's under 200, over 200, but it seems chasey to me here. So I don't really see anything that I'm going to take on weekly bars. George says Uber. Uber's a good risk to reward ratio here, George. Under 250. I'm sorry. Rejection of the 250 yesterday. Back over the 200 now. Good risk to reward ratio. Let's look over and look at the weekly. Weekly, yes. Weekly looks pretty good. Rejected the 50 SMA here, which is a good sign. There was a major level here that was supported, and it also gives you a decent risk to reward ratio on the daily using the 200-day moving average. So yeah, good analysis. Okay, so Steve is long PINS, he's long IBB, and he's long Facebook with the 520 crossover. IBB, it bounced off the 200-day moving average, and then pins with the under 30 back over 30. So, all right, good job, Steve. I will get those all updated after we close. And we have about 13 minutes to go. So Amazon and MSTR. So as long as Amazon closes above the 200, I will buy it. I like the increased volume here today. Monster, I don't think so. I'm going to go with Amazon if it closes above the 200-day, and that's all I'm going to buy in addition to the ones that I have already. Lot to choose from, but remember, about 3/4 of all positions are going to move. So if we go up on Monday, the 3/4 will probably go up together. But if we're down, they'll probably all go down together, more than likely. Not necessarily, but probabilistically they will. So that's why I generally like to just buy one stock per day and just look for the very, very best one. And sometimes it costs me, but again, my main mantra in trading is not to become destabilized, right? And big, huge losses have that effect on people, right? So, that is why I am today. I would buy two, if I had something in different categories, but right now Amazon looks the best if it closes above the 200, and even if it does, it doesn't mean it has to go roaring back up. It just gives me a good risk to reward ratio, which is the most important. Let's take a look at VIX, everybody. My gosh. I mean, talk about VIX crush. Look at that, everybody. But look, we are right back down at support in that main range of support. So does that tell us something? I don't know. We'll see. But we are back in the value zone. Not a lot of volume. Look at the volume on the way up on VIX. Huge. Look at the sell-off on VIX. Less volume, even less volume. So to me, that tells me that this was there's some profit taking going on here, but there was some significant volume yesterday, but today, not much whatsoever. Q's just cruising on up. Came right back into the value zone, and that's where they bounced. Gary said, good exit from the SPY puts Wednesday. 100%. I felt very strongly that was the right thing for you guys to do, because you would be deep underwater, I think, at this point, had you held them, or at the very least, you would have given back all your profit. But yeah, it's just, you know, that was a good example of when you had an outsized gain, just to take it off the table, lock it in, and not, you know, be a pig about it, right? So Amazon making a new high on the day, which is great. Look at that. Go Amazon. Ava says, would be nice to see Amazon close over the 50 SMA. I 100% agree, so it's not that resistance above. Good analysis, Ava. I was thinking the same thing earlier. Johnson says, snow bounced and moved in one up direction today with steady high volume throughout the day. Let's look at snow. Yes. But do you want to chase that? I don't know. You know, me personally, I wouldn't chase that. Could it keep going? Could the momentum keep it up? Sure. But Steve said, we nailed the exit, Gary, at VIX in one day. That is the time to get out. I 100% agree. It did it. It did. It did. Okay. Frank says that was pure drama, guys. That was. Steve said the Disney RSI on the 30 could be a photo finish. Let's see. Yep, 2988. It just has that 30 RSI resistance above it. Can it get over? I don't know. Ava says TSE. Looking CNH just above 50 NMA. Great earnings too. Yeah, that looks strong. A little extended for me over the 1ATR channel though for me, but that's just my preference, Ava. Obviously, I think you know that. Gary says SPWR. Close back over the 250. That looks decent. Holding the 50 on the weekly, I like that. I don't know if the under 250, over 250 on SPWR backtests well, but that's a decent risk to reward ratio, Gary. All right, we have about 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead, get ready to buy Amazon here. I'm just going to wait till the very end. Keep above the 50, right, Ava? 50 is 32, 25, 27. We are barely above it. About a minute and a half to go. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and buy Amazon right there. And then the overnight SPY trade, and that's that. That is going to be that. Looks like VIX is running a little bit here at the end of the day. I kind of like VIX right back down here. Yeah, look at VIX run right there. In the last, oh, that's 3-minute bars. I don't look at 3-minute bars. What am I doing? Yeah. $15 to go on my end. Whoa. There we go. That is the end of the week. Wow, what a week, huh, everybody? My gosh. All right, I bought SPY at 416.58, and I bought Amazon at 3,226.91. All right, so Amazon. 3226.91 is my entry. Close under, close back over 200-day moving average. And then SPY. Nice little overnight SPY trade there. And then I bought that at 416.58. There we go. I'll hold that over the weekend, sell that first thing Monday morning. So, all right, everything green today except for UNG down 1 penny, but if something's going to be down 1 penny is what you want it to be. So if any of my students have any new entries or exits that would like me to update on the board here, if you could just please go ahead, put it in the live stream, and then I will get them all updated. Before I do that, just 3 quick pieces of business. As you know, I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via course. I teach a full 15-hour course, one-on-one course, you and I, where I teach you all 5 of my stock trading approaches, right? And we spend 1 lesson on 1 stock trading approach, and I have 5 of them. That's why you have 5, and then 3. Each session is 3 hours. So we spend 3 hours teaching you the strategy. I teach you, I ask you questions, I get feedback, I see where you're at, and then once I know that you're getting it and kind of following along, then we start doing trades, right? We go day by day, and when you're done, you'll be able to tell me we're getting in here, this is how many shares we're buying, this is our emergency stop, this is our end of day stop, these are our profit targets, these are our overhead resistance levels, this is how we're going to trail it. So I love to teach. I think I do a really good job of it. I put a lot of work into it. I burn a lot of calories because it's very important to me that my students do well. And when you're done with this course, you should be a much better trader. The course is $1,750, but I think it's well worth it, everyone, for the time, for the 18 hours sometimes that you get in the course, and the one-on-one attention that you get from me, who is going to be your teacher. So if you're interested, send me an email. The email is in the description of this video, of this live stream, and just send me an email and say, hey, Greg, I am interested in potentially taking your course. I will say, wonderful. Let's set up a Skype call. The Skype call is free. I just want to talk to you, learn more about you. You can ask me questions about the course that you have. I want to learn about what you're trying to get out of this course and what you're trying to achieve. And then when we're done with the call, you can think about it as long as you want. And then you can email me back and say, Greg, let's get going on the course, and we will do it. Right? So send me a message if you're interested, and we'll have a nice Skype call. Number 2. I do have a new online course available on udemy.com. In that course, I teach you the deep dip buy stock trading strategy, which is a great strategy. Use it all the time. A lot of what we did here today was using the deep dip buy strategy. It's 9.5 hours, 26 videos, 15 study guides. And the best part, it's like $12 or $15 on Udemy. So it's a really good, really great course. I've got so many good reviews, so much good feedback on this, and it's so inexpensive. Do yourself a favor. The link is in the description. And you'll learn it from beginning to end. You can do it this weekend if you put your mind to it, and you'll come back and you will know how to trade it, and for a very affordable price. So the link's in the description. Go check it out. And plus, if you have any questions while you're taking the course, of course, you know where I am in the last hour of the market. Just come and ask me, right? And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, I really would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It helps keep the channel around, helps build the channel, helps keep it growing, and lets YouTube know that there's some valuable content here. So, you know, if there's something from the podcast today that you found helpful, all I ask in return is you just hit the thumbs up button before you leave. So, okay, that takes care of business. Now let's go. I know we have a lot of entries. Okay, I think I saw Steve up here. Okay, Steve bought pins. Okay, Steve bought Pinterest at 58.01. Okay, good luck on that, Steve. IBB. Okay, Steve bought IBB at 149.59. With the close under back over the 200. Okay, and then Facebook. Steve bought Facebook at 316.45. Okay, good. David says, Greg, your Keltner channels are 14. No, my Keltner channels are 20, David. I use the 20 SMA on my Keltner channels. I use the 14 for the RSI. All right, Kamal got into Shopify. At 1078. Nice. All right. David bought Amazon. Okay. I'm just going to put your name up there, David, just so I don't have too many lines. But where did you buy it? 32.12. Okay. You got $10 head start. Way to go. Okay. Gary says, nothing new today. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you, Gary. Hope you're doing well. Glad to hear that your son's doing better with getting the cast and not having to get surgery. That's fantastic. Frank, Facebook on that 520 crossover. Halfy. He got a halfy. All right. Frank, 1/2. Tracy said, somehow we missed yesterday's stuff. Yesterday we got into AXON. Oh, nice. I am so glad to hear that because I know AXON had a big day up. Woohoo! Nice. Yeah, I don't know why I missed that, but that's great. Up 5.16%. Congratulations, Tracy. Congratulations, Paxton. So I put that in yesterday. That's beautiful. And DT. Oh, nice. Good risk to reward ratio. Way to go. Way to go. You two had a good day. Wow. Beautiful trades, Tracy. Okay, so you got an Amazon today. And you also got into, what was it? Uber? Okay, so what am I going to do here with this one? All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this one blue for Gary because we have multiple entries here. So, and then I'm going to do this here. And I'll make this green. How about that? Sound like a plan? All right. Whew. All right. David says, great weekend all. Thank you, David. Mr. Lead Video says, would you mind to explain why you buy the S&P end of day every day, even if the day is green? I would agree on red days, but on green days. Let me see if I can grab a link for you there. Sweet. Okay, so Mr. Lead Video, I'm putting in a link into the chat right now. This is a video that I did on YouTube where I explain exactly why I do that. Essentially, in the markets, you get paid for taking risk. Day traders during the daytime get out at the end of the day. The people that are holding after the close and holding overnight are taking risks. And in that video, you will see why using that approach over the long run has far outperformed just buying and holding the S&P. So that video, the link that I just put in there, will explain exactly, will show you the charts. But essentially, you get paid for taking on risk. When something doesn't happen overnight, people start bidding it up in the morning, and there is your edge. But it's not based upon whether something's down or something's up on the day. It's just something I do every single day. But that video there should help you, Mr. Lead Video. Kamal says, I am glad you no longer cover the overnight SPY trade. What's that, Kamal? You want me to start covering the overnight SPY trade every day again? Okay. Do you remember the chart? Do we remember it? Are you going to get triggered if I put it up? All right, this is from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest on Twitter since 1993. So Mr. Lead Video, buying the SPY at the open and holding it every day. If you bought it at the open, sold it at the close, you return negative 13.9%. But if you buy at the close, hold it overnight, sell the next morning, positive 634. So I'm just joshing Kamal there, but you will see that in the video. But yes, I am thrilled that I don't have to talk about that every day, Kamal. Frank says, do not get Liz Ann Saunders mad, Kamal. I know, she won't even talk to me anymore. She does not return my phone calls ever since I stopped doing the Liz Ann Saunders comment every day. Lovis says, sometimes I buy 3+ full positions in a day and sometimes only one. I didn't realize that I was creating uneven risk since the major thing that you're buying is the day. Yeah, I mean, it can work for you, against you, but it doesn't mean you should do that. That's just something I do for my own personality. Kamal says, thanks, Greg. Have a great one. I see why New Trader U does crossovers and deep dip buys. There you go. Frank says, oh, we already talked about Liz. Jonathan says, Amazon, have a great weekend. You too, Jonathan. Mr. Lead Video says, wow, that's great. Thanks for link. You are welcome. Kamal says, Frank, I can't do anything to ruin the Greg and Liz Ann relationship, Liz Ann Saunders friendship. Oh, it's over. That friendship's long gone. That ship has sailed. When she heard on Twitter that I was no longer covering that was it. That was it. And by the way, everybody, if you don't know who Liz Ann Saunders is, she is the Chief Investment Officer for Charles Schwab, and I do not know her. Just kind of our inside joke. Kamal says, OMG, he had the chart handy. That's right. Come on, man. I know where stuff is, Kamal. What a week. What a week, everybody. Can we say it all together? What a week. Unreal. Nobody wanted stocks. Everybody wanted stocks. What's going on? Seriously. Can someone explain this? Can someone explain, like, nobody wanted it? Everybody wants it. I mean, I get it. It's supply and demand and the whole thing, but it always makes my head hurt. You know, it always makes my head hurt. But can we look at volume? Down volume, biggie. Up volume, not as much. Up volume again today, not as much. Does that tell anybody anything? I don't know, but to me, I don't like it. To me, I don't like it. What I do like is this. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. This is from Martin Cornfield. I say this every day, everybody, but I really mean it. Go out, do something nice for another human being today. Go out, do something nice for an animal if one crosses your path, right? It really may make that person's day. It really may make that animal's day. And it should make your day as well. And maybe one day, if you're in need, somebody will come along and do the same for you, and it will make you feel good, right? So that's all I ask. I ask for a thumbs up button, and I ask to go out and do one random act of kindness daily for a human and an animal, right? I don't demand a lot. You know, laugh at my jokes. That would also be good. Frank says, head for that hammock. That's right, Frank. Thanks, Greg. Have a great weekend. That's what Paxton says. Thank you, Packy. And nice trades today. Johnson says, can Facebook and Snow be candidates for a 50% retracement bounce for Monday? Well, yeah, I mean, look, here's the high, here's the low. Let's get my nifty difty Fibonacci out. We did make it above the 50%, so we moved from here to here. We did move above the 50, which is good, but still kind of in the zone. So, but we did move above the 50%, which is positive. We didn't get rejected there, but you know, if we come back down on Monday, we would have rejected. I hope this is what you're talking about. Okay. What was the other one? Snow? Well, this one's a little harder to, I mean, if we take from here, the previous high over here to the low, yeah. Snow is 212.82 would be the 50 fib bounce, and it didn't get above that. So, you know, I kind of intuitively saw that actually when we looked at that earlier, plus the big day up. So, Tony says Amazon. Listen, Tony, I used to put everyone's trades up, but it just got so crazy and so time consuming. So now I just reserve the board as far as people's new trades. I just reserve it for my current students and my past students. So I hope you understand. It's not like it takes a lot of calories to put it up there, but there was a time when there were so many people, and I think I spent 25 minutes putting up new positions. But good to know. Let us know how you do next Monday. But I'm just going to kind of try to keep consistent with that rule. So hope that makes sense, and hope that doesn't offend. Tony says, good weekend. Thank you, Tony. Hope you have a great weekend as well. Ava says, from looking back in history, it seems indexes often have low volume on way up and high on the way down. Well, that is true. That is true as well. But, if you read William O'Neill, he in how to make money in stocks and his other books, he's a big proponent of when bottoms really coming from double the volume on the upside than it was to the downside. I don't know if you've ever read that book, Ava, How to Make Money in Stocks. Pretty simple title, but it is a really good book by William O'Neill, who started Investors Business Daily. Ava says, thank you, Greg, and have a lovely weekend. Thank you, Ava. Thank you very much. I hope you have a good weekend as well, my friend. And Tony says, cool. All right, good. We're still friends, Tony? Okay. Well. What a week, man. I mean, this was one for the books. This was one for the record books, wasn't it? Holy hamburgers. Whew. All right. Well, listen, everybody. I'm going to get ready, go for a hike, enjoy the weekend. I do not have to teach this weekend. I had a cancellation, which is good and bad, but I'm going to look, not a cancellation, a reschedule. But so this will be the first weekend in quite some time that I do not have to teach. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Doesn't mean I don't like to teach. So again, if you're interested in the one-on-one course with me, just send me an email and I will get you scheduled, even if it's on a weekend. All right, so take care, have fun this weekend, be good, be safe, drive safe, study some charts, read some Steve Burns books, go to his website, newtraderu.com, check out his content, online courses, but most of all, be safe and have fun. And Ava says, yes, for sure, always paying attention to volume on regular stocks, only more lenient in indexes. Interesting. Interesting. Lova says, thank you for everything. I took more notes than positions today. Great day for learning. Good, Lova. And I did get your email, and I am going to bring that up. I just knew today was going to be really busy with this kind of crazy market. And so I will bring up your email. Thank you for that. And I'm glad to hear that's what you've been able to do with your phone. Similar kind of to what I do. You can see I have other charts here as well. I don't want them to be too busy, but I can understand that having crazy busy charts on your phone would be difficult. But thank you for your analysis, Leva. I'm proud of you. And you're really improving, and really I'm thrilled that you're getting so detailed on your analysis. So all right, listen, I'm out of here. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.